day everyone, I am Tahra Justine Valdez and today I will be discussing about the Chapter 11 in Hong Kong and Macau in 1888. In February 1888, Rizal was forced to leave his country for a second time around. At the age of 27 years old, Rizal was a full-grown man. He was then called as a practicing physician and recognized as a man of letters. So, the first time Rizal went abroad in June 1882, he was a mere lad of 21, a youthful student in search for wisdom in the old world, a romantic idealist with beautiful dreams of emancipating his people from bondage by the magic power of his pen. At 27, Rizal was an embittered victim of human iniquities, a disillusioned dreamer, and a frustrated reformer. So, in trip to Hong Kong on 1888, after a short stay of 6 months in his beloved Calamba, Rizal left Manila for Hong Kong on board to the Zafiro. So, Rizal was sick and sad during the crossing of the choppy China Sea. He did not get off his ship when it made brief stopover at Amoy on February 7 for 3 reasons. First, he was not feeling well. Second, it was raining hard, and third, he heard that the city was dirty. Then he arrived at Hong Kong on February 8. During his stay in Hong Kong, a British colony, Rizal wrote a letter to Bloomingtreet dated February 16, 1888, expressing his bitterness. These letters ran as follows. At last I can write freely. At last I can express my thoughts without fear of censorship from the ship. They forced me to leave my country. Half sick, I left the house. Oh dear Bloomingtreet, you have no idea of my minor odyssey. Without the aid of my Lieutenant Tavel de Andrade, what would become of me? Without the sympathies of the Governor General, the directors of the civil administration and civil government, I would now be in some dungeon. All the provincials and the Archbishop went daily to the Governor General to complain against me. The syndic of the Dominicans wrote a denunciation to the alcalde that at night they saw me hold secret meetings with men and women on top of the hill. It is true I went walking at dawn to a hill accompanied by many men and women and children, for the purpose of enjoying the coolness of the morning, but always escorted by the lieutenant of the Guardia Civil, who knows Tagalog, who is conspirator of secret sessions that will hold them in the open air among women and children. I allowed the accusations to reach the Governor General so he could see what kind of enemies I have. My countrymen offered me money to leave the island. They asked me to do not only for my own interest but also theirs, because I have many friends and acquaintances that they would have deported me to Balabag or the Marianas Islands. Thus, half sick, I bade a hasty farewell to my family. I am returning to Europe by the way of Japan and the United States. We would see each other again. I have so much to tell you. Rizal stayed at Victoria Hotel in Hong Kong. He was welcomed by Filipino residents including Jose Maria Basa, Balbino Mauricio, and Manuel Riarte, the son of Francisco Riarte, alcalde mayor of Laguna. A Spaniard, Jose Sainz de Veranda, who was a former Secretary Governor General Terrero, shadowed Rizal's movement in Hong Kong. It is believed that he was commissioned by the Spanish authorities to spy on Rizal. Rizal writes the Bloomingtreet on February 16, 1888. It is small but very clean city. Many Portuguese, Hindus, English, Chinese, and Jews live in it. There are some Filipinos, the majority of whom being those who had been exiled to the Marianas Island in 1872. They are poor, gentle, and timid. Formerly, they were rich mechanics, industrialists, and financiers. On February 18, Rizal, accompanied by Basa, boarded the ferry steamer Kyokyang for Macao. He was surprised to see among the passengers a familiar figure, Sainz de Baranda. Macao is a Portuguese colony near Hong Kong. The city of Macao, wrote Rizal in his diary, is small and gloomy. There are many junks, sampans, but few steamers. It looks sad and it is almost dead. In Macao, Rizal and Basa stayed at home of Don Juan Francisco Licaros, a Filipino gentleman married to a Portuguese lady. He was rich and spent her days cultivating plants and flowers, many of which came from Philippines. During his 2-day sojourn in Macau, Rizal visited the theatre, casino, cathedral, and churches, pagodas, botanical garden, and bazaars. So, in February 19, Rizal witnessed a Catholic procession in which the devotees were dressed in blue and purple dresses and were carrying unlighted candles. During his 2-week visit in Hong Kong, Rizal studied Chinese life language, drama, and customs. He wrote down in his own diary the following experiences. So first, noisy celebration of the Chinese New Year lasted from February 11th, Saturday, to 13th, Monday. Continuous explosions of firecrackers. The richer the Chinese, the more firecrackers exploded. Rizal himself fired many firecrackers at the window of his hotel. So the second one is in Chinese dramatic art. Rizal observed the following. First, a man astride a stick means a man riding on horseback. Second, an actor raising his leg means he is entering a house. Third, a red dress indicates a wedding. Fourth, a girl about to be married coyly covers her face with a fan even in the presence of her fiancé. The last one is a man raising a whip signifies he is about to ride a horse. So the third one is the marathon laureate party, wherein the guests were served numerous dishes such as dried fruits, bird nests, white ducks, chicken with vinegar, fish heads, roasted pigs, tea, and etc. The largest meals in the world. Fourth, the Dominican order was the richest religious order in Hong Kong. It engaged actively in business. It owned more than 700 houses for rent and many shares in foreign banks. It had millions of dollars deposited in the banks which earned fabulous interest. The last one is the Hong Kong cemeteries belong to the Protestants, Catholics, Muslim. That of the Protestants was the most beautiful because of its well-groomed plants and clean pathways. The Catholic cemetery was most pompous with its expensive and extravagantly carved. The Muslim cemetery was the simplest, containing only a little mosque and tombstones with Arabic inscriptions. The departure from Hong Kong on February 22, 1888, Rizal left Hong Kong on board the Oceanic, an American steamer. His destination was Japan. He did not like the meals on board, but he liked the ship because it was clean and well managed. His cabin mate was a British Protestant missionary who had lived in China for 27 years and knew the Chinese language very well. Rizal called him a good man.